Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) was established in 2003 by an act of the National Assembly. Part of the powers given to the Commission is to check lifestyle of individuals who appear to be living above their means. Do not say you didn't know. Good evening, viewers. It's nice being with you again on this week's edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari. Presenting the program with me is Aisha Muhammad. Hello, dear.
Hi, Aisha.
I love your necklace.
Thank you. You look good too.
Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the program, your window to the activities of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
In October 2013, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Stock Exchange to formalize the working relationship between them. In an interview with The Eagle, Oscar Onyama, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, expatiates on the relationship between both organizations.
Also on the program, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has concluded arrangement to prosecute a stockbroker, Bioye Eluwole, for allegedly selling 300,000 units of shares worth over 30 million naira belonging to one of his clients without authorization. Please stay tuned as Thelma AK brings you our first report for the day.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has offered to assist the National Lottery Regulatory Commission, NLRC, in tackling the menace of lottery scam and other unwholesome practices in the lottery sector. Ibrahim Lamurde, Executive Chairman, EFCC, made the offer while receiving Mr. Adolphus Ekpe, Director General of the Regulatory Commission, who led his management team to the Commission on a courtesy visit. The EFCC boss, who lamented the manner Nigerians are being defrauded through unscrupulous lottery promotions, expressed the EFCC's readiness to help in cleaning up the lottery industry of cheats and illegal lottery operators. According to him, the Commission will raise a joint team to clean up the system, adding that war against graft can only be fought and won through the collaboration of all stakeholders.
We are aware that there are countries in this world that the income they generate from lotteries is what sustains their economies. And Nigeria is huge. The market is huge. I see no reason why that lottery, revenue generated from lottery cannot make positive income on the economy of this country. We are looking for alternative sources of revenue. So we are coming here for collaboration at this time. Is very right, it is apt, and I want to assure you that we'll do everything possible to support you.
Speaking earlier, Ekpe said the team was at the Commission to solicit support of EFCC in the area of lottery crime detection and investigation, arrest and prosecution of lottery offenders, and staff attachment and training in fighting financial crimes in relation to lottery activities.
We're here to seek for collaboration in 3 areas. First and foremost is in the area of detection and investigation of lottery offenses. That is the first part. The second part is in the area of arrest and prosecution. And then the last area of cooperation is in the area of training of our personnel. I assumed office August last year. So this year, August has made me 1 year in that place. And I'm happy that I'm the one visiting you, because from the records, my predecessors have tried to have this collaboration. So please let us appreciate the chairman for giving us the opportunity to come, and I'm privileged to be here.
He stated that the National Lottery Regulatory Commission was established by the National Lottery Act of 2005. describing the commission as the only federal government agency empowered by law to regulate the business of lottery in Nigeria. According to Ekpe, lottery business is a tool for job creation, wealth redistribution, and national development. He decried the activities of quacks in the industry, saying it is the huge potentials in lottery that makes it attractive to some dubious Nigerians who set out to cheat other Nigerians in the guise of lottery. Ekpe, who lauded EFCC for its giant strides in curbing economic and financial crimes in Nigeria, and expressed optimism that the collaboration between the two agencies will help stamp out illegal lottery operators from the industry and put a check on sharp practices by registered operators. Thelma Eke, reporting for The Eagle.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC in October 2013 signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the Nigerian Stock Exchange to strengthen the relationship between the organizations. In an interview with Dele Oyewale and Tony Orilade of the Public Affairs Department, Oscar Onyama, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, discussed the essence of the partnership between the EFCC and the exchange. The report is presented by Aisha Mohammed. Stay tuned.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE is licensed under the Investments and Securities Act ISA and is regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC of Nigeria. In October 2013, the EFCC signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. What is the significance of this partnership?
The MOU provides a platform for us to actually have a better cooperation with the EFCC, and once we signed the MOU, we'll put in place a working group here at the exchange to make sure that we implement fully the tenets of the MOU. And one of the key things we wanted to do was with regards to capacity building. And so we had about 6 of our staff go over to the EFCC training school to learn about the EFCC mandates, how EFCC approaches cases. And in return, the EFCC has sent about 15 of their staff to the exchange to understand how we approach cases from an administrative perspective and also understand the nature of our business. So it's really been a very fruitful partnership in the sense that we've had 2 cases of identity theft that we've collaborated greatly with the EFCC on.
One of the results achieved with the signing of the MOU was the removal of Nigeria from the grey list of the World Federation of Exchanges, which provided an opportunity for the NSE to secure membership.
We've seen the positive impact. You would remember the grey list. Nigeria is no longer on that list. That was something that was very beneficial to the Nigerian Stock Exchange because we were going through World Federation of Exchanges full membership application process. And a country that is on that list, you have difficulties in passing through the review process. So we're very happy that Nigeria is no longer on that list, and that has progressed our membership application to the point that they're going to be visiting the exchange in the first week of September to do a more detailed inspection. So that is a byproduct, if you will, of this MOU. Another area is the FSIU, where we have significant cooperation and we have the ability to get more detailed information, because one of the aspects of this MOU is information sharing. And so, whereas it wasn't explicitly written into the MOU, we're able to get enhanced information as we review promoters of companies and products that are looking to list on the exchange. So that is another byproduct that wasn't explicitly covered, but we've seen the positive impact from the MOU.
There were allegations from some quarters that the MOU is targeted towards witch-hunting some stockbrokers.
Let me start by saying that this MOU is not targeting the stockbrokering community or any particular community for that matter. What we noticed is that there was an increased incidence of unauthorized selling of shares, so selling of shares that don't belong to you. And when these matters are reported to the police takes a traditional approach that the person that stole the goods and the buyer of stolen goods are guilty. You can't apply that type of philosophy in this market where it is an anonymous market. You don't know who you're buying from. You don't know where they got the stocks from. The integrity of the market then becomes critical, and we as the provider of the marketplace must take action to make sure that we protect all the investors, both the buyers and the sellers. And so by partnering with the EFCC, we're able to educate them more on how the market works. And so when they implement their own investigations and things like that, they do it with a full understanding of how the market works. And the kind of cases we report to them are not limited to cases that involve the broker-dealers. I've told you about one of the byproducts where when we do due diligence on promoters of companies or products that want to list on the exchange, we get better information because of the kind of relationship that we have with law enforcement, including EFCC. So I think it is a misconception that needs to be clarified.
The MOU, Onyema added, has enhanced administrative processes at the exchange, paving way for quick conflict resolution within the stock market.
In the past, yes, you would have a complaint made. You will go through your complaints resolution, conflict resolution mechanism that we have here at the exchange. And at the end of the day, we would issue fines, we would even suspend people or even expel people. But that addresses administrative processes, right? We don't have, by law, we don't have criminal enforcement authority. And so it is important that we, in driving credibility in the marketplace, that we properly hand over cases, and not all cases, but cases that have criminal elements to them, to the right authorities.
The CEO said EFCC is not the only agency that has an MOU with the exchange, but stressed that the partnership between the exchange and other organizations are intended to foster a smooth working relationship.
We don't exist in isolation. So there are so many regulatory bodies and law enforcement bodies that we interface with. If you look, we're a member of the FSRCC, the Financial System Regulatory Steering Committee, that involves all the major regulators, from the CBN to SEC to us to NIACOM, PENCOM, and the rest of it. And we have to view some of the challenges from a systemic perspective. And if you looked at it that way, then it's important that we maintain relationships with the police, with the EFCC and other law enforcement agencies, because certain issues can be systemic in nature.
In the banking industry, there is what is called Know Your Customer, KYC. Does such principle operate in the exchange?
It's actually KYC as well. So whenever a client walks up to a broker-dealer and says, I want to open an account, the first thing the broker-dealer has to do is to ask questions of the client, collect evidence that they are who they are, and in some cases even go and verify that these people are who they say they are. So yes, we have KYC, and our KYC processes are very similar to what you have in banking for people that are trying to open current accounts or checking accounts. In fact, in some cases, we're trying to see how we can streamline the process so that we can collaborate more with the banking industry. For example, the banking industry is moving towards biometrics capturing. We want to partner with them to do that instead of running off and doing our own biometric capturing. So yes, it is something that we take very seriously. Another aspect of KYC is the whole anti-money laundering initiative. It is important to know the kind of client you have, the nature, how he makes his money, what his investment objectives are, and the like. So yes, it is something that is very critical in this market.
He said in addition to the KYC, there are also reporting mechanisms put in place in order to ensure that crooks don't use the stock market as a means of laundering illegally acquired money.
There are reporting requirements. If somebody comes to open an account with cash, the brokers are not allowed to take cash. And in fact, they have an obligation to report it. If somebody does transactions that pass a certain threshold, there's an obligation, there's a reporting obligation. So it is a myth that the stock market is an easy avenue for money laundering. I would say that anybody that is determined to launder money will make an effort from every aspect: real estate, banks, stock markets, and alternative investments. But if you look at the banking sector, they have reporting obligations. If you look at the capital markets, we have reporting obligations as well.
How easy is it to detect irregularities within the stock market?
We're a self-regulatory organization, and each of our dealing member has signed an undertaking as part of becoming members that they will submit themselves to a regulatory jurisdiction. And we have regular audit exercises that we do. We have unscheduled audit exercises that we do. We have a complaint management system in place. We have our X-Whistle portal where people can anonymously report any infraction that they want to report. Within the exchange, we're structured such that we have our broker-dealer regulation department that focuses on properly regulating the broker-dealer community. We have a surveillance team that watches what goes on from a trading perspective to look for market infractions such as front-running, insider trading, market manipulation, and the like. And on the company side, we have a listings regulation department that looks at companies to make sure that they are complying with our listings requirements that they've signed on to. So there's a whole slew of regulatory regimes that are targeted at different participants in our market to make sure that they're complying with appropriate rules and regulations and laws of the land.
So, what is the essence of the Central Securities Clearing System, CSCS?
The CSCS has a different mandate than you've articulated. The mandate for the CSCS is really to provide a clearing, settlement, and depository that makes the whole buying and selling experience seamless. So instead of carrying certificates, you can dematerialize and have them deposited at the CSCS, that is the depository function. If you conduct a trade on the stock exchange, you must know who the buyer is, who the seller is. Security has to change hands. Cash has to go the opposite direction. The CSCS facilitates that, and they do it in a very efficient manner. The CSCS also has certain things that they do, like if you wanted to change from broker A to broker B and you're transferring your shares, they will help you in doing that because they are the depository. And sometimes people come with false identities and things like that. So the CSCS has also tightened its processes to make sure that when a broker comes and represents that client A is my client and they want to move their assets from broker B to them, that is in fact the case. But you know, Nigeria is an interesting place, and people find ingenious ways of trying to circumvent any system that you put in place. So we have to be vigilant to continue to tighten our processes and procedures and to make sure that we minimize the potential for people to game the system. However, it's almost impossible to do because of the ingenuity of the people that we're dealing with.
Okay. If there are such regulations in place, how come we have cases of stockbrokers selling investors' shares without the investors' knowledge?
The truth of the matter is that, first of all, there are rules, and these rules are dynamic in nature, so we continue to evaluate our rules against global best practices and global standards, and we continue to evolve our repertoire of rules to make sure that they keep into global standards. So that's the first point. We've been very busy, actually, with regards to having appropriate levels of rules and compliance requirements. The second thing is that there's been significant enforcement of these rules. We've had cases of market manipulation where we fined a broker 6 million naira with suspension. We've had instances where, even with regards to unauthorized trades, where restitution was done and where we followed up with suspension. Our rules have been tightened up. Before, it used to be only if you're caught, you restitute. Now we've added the fact that if you're caught, the amount of profit you make, you'll be fined ×3 of that. So we want to make it unprofitable from any angle that you look at to engage in such activity. We are currently processing the expulsion of 2 firms that were engaged in unauthorized trading of clients' securities. So I think it is, again, a misconception to think that the rules don't exist, or that the rules are not complying with international standards, or that we don't enforce the rules. We do. However, our mandate limits our abilities to put people in jail. We can't do that. And that is where the cooperation with EFCC becomes very important. So we can expel people, we can fine people, we can suspend, we can do a lot of administrative things that make it painful and unattractive for people to engage in such behavior. But, you know, we don't have the mandate to go beyond that. And that is where we partner with law enforcement to make sure that they take the rest of it.
Welcome back from that beautiful report. That was quite informative, and I believe that viewers are better educated on the operations of the stock exchange and the dynamics of the capital markets. Shouldn't you think so?
Yes, Aisha, I quite agree with you. It's very informative. At least things you don't know, people will know, and they'll know how to work with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the next report, Zainab Sana Ahmad brings you a story on some of the malpractices in the stock market. Wambioye Eluole, a stockbroker, allegedly sold 300,000 units of shares belonging to one of his clients without authorization. The report.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has concluded arrangements to prosecute a stockbroker for a 30 million naira scam. The broker, Bioye Eluole, was said to have allegedly sold 300,000 units of shares belonging to one of his clients without authorization. The shares, spread over 16 different companies, were reportedly warehoused in his firm, Bitofel Trust and Securities Limited, but were confirmed sold by the Central Security Clearing System, CSCS, when the client sought to confirm the statutes of his investments. Investigations showed that Eluole indeed sold all the shares. Other investors whose shares had also been sold by the same company without their knowledge accused Eluole of duping them of their investments. The suspect will soon be arraigned in court for stealing, fraudulent sale, and conversion of shares. In a related development, the Commission is poised to arraign 2 commercial motorcycle transport operators for offences bordering on currency counterfeiting. The suspects, Oluwatosin Olariwaju and Ojeni Oluwasegun, were arrested by operatives of the Department of State Security DSS at Igboho in Orilokwe, local government area of Oyo State, with 49 pieces of suspected fake Nigerian currency notes, 1,000 naira denomination, and 1 piece of 10,000 naira safer note. They were nabbed while trying to exchange the fake currencies for genuine ones from unsuspecting members of the public. The duo, however, denied the allegation, saying they found the money on the ground wrapped in a small bag. Zainab Sani Ahmed reporting for the Eagle.
Glad to have you back. Next is our feedback segment for this week. Chidimma Amanambo is our guide. Please stay tuned.
Emenike Nathan wrote via Facebook, and he says, "Why does it take EFCC so long to convict corrupt politicians?" Thanks, Nathan, for your message. Please note that the EFCC only arrests, investigates, and prosecutes offenders. The judiciary is saddled with the responsibility of convicting or acquitting an accused person. The length of a trial does not rest on the prosecution. That's all we have for you this week on the feedback segment. Thanks for your contributions. To be part of this segment, please visit us on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. You can also watch our programs and other activities on youtube.com/official EFCC or send a text to the following numbers: 0809 332 2644 and 0818 332 2644. You can also report any misconduct by staff of the Commission via dia@efccnigeria.org or call this number 09-904 4758 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. weekdays only.
Please keep sending your feedback to us. We thank you for your continued support. That's it on the program. Do join us next week for another exciting edition of The Eagle. I remain yours sincerely, Aisha Gambari, saying, God bless Nigeria. From Aisha.
Yes, Aisha. The Public Interface Unit of the Public Affairs Department of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, is driving a national discourse online every week. We are focusing on issues of good governance as it affects the anti-corruption crusade in Nigeria. Please join us on Google Plus by searching for Official EFCC or Official EFCC NG@gmail.com. When signed in your Google Plus account, like us or follow us. You can also join us on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @official EFCC. You can also watch our programs and other activities on youtube.com/official EFCC. Thanks for watching. God bless you and goodbye.